everyone days? Hopefully you guys enjoy your day. We are back, and we are happy to have you here. Um, it is a weekend, so nothing to say. Just want to chat and talk and chill and sleep. Wow, last night I was watching Joseph. Hmm. I don't know. Meet Joe Black. Yep. Oh my God. That's me. Yeah, that is me. Mhm. I'm sorry, but my plan is dying. I don't know why. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to do something. I don't know why. Yeah, I just use my better. Oh, it's about. Okay. But if you want to do it from the other side. And tomorrow I'll be there, so. I don't give a shit. Damn. Okay. Jira. What is Jira production? What is trial? make signal. This is not how you're supposed to be doing it. What do you mean the account is deactivated? Quality control associate. Um, Damn, bro, that's what we're doing now. People's accounts. Mm-mm. QA missions. Welcome to quality assurance wiki page. I am to support personal patient care by ensuring established process more. And that these procedures are followed and track product and process performance, advising on critical improvement needed so that product continue to be developed to the highest quality standard. QA scope of work including ensuring regulations are okay, finding the right QA person for your project or process, or lead accountable support oversight. Delivering the mission. Oh man. Every product we build, every service we offer is designed to make a difference in patient life. Okay, that's good. Our customer and patient requirement understand. Let's do the address. Robust quality measurement system QMC. Ensuring management staff are committed to equality through training and collaborative continuous monitoring. As of July 2025, welcome to quality. If you still haven't found what you're looking for, you can search wiki by entering your keyword. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's it. We done. Okay.
Welcome to Tempest.
All right. I see. I see your point. Man. There's something open. It's now chicken. It's now compliance support, quality, document control, issue management, training. What is training? Do you still use media administration? Training form. You cannot view the page, bro. That's crazy. You just taking me. I'm just gonna go back. All of these things, it's just for you, for me. Go back to for you training. Let's compress on this. Did I contribute something? I don't know, bro. They say I did, then I did. So, there you go. Remember, I'm not a is that Q compliance. That's the thing. Um, Today, I guess. Compressor administration. Where is compressor administration? I don't even know what is that. Assign or retire competencies. Review individual assessment. Pass administration home. Oh, let me repeat that shit. Go to media labs. Okay. I see, I see. Like if I go to this one and I go to the app, because my device. My gosh. Sick shit that is in my app. Okay, bro. Inspection proof. Okay. Over there. Oh, okay. You gotta have that. This shit is getting hot, bro. This shit is getting hot. Training. Okay. Oh, okay. See now. Mm. Okay. So what is it that you're trying to do? Okay. Test. Last name test. Okay. Last name. Test user last name. Well. Let's see. Viewable one. Yeah, biotech people, Yahoo. I see, I see. This is interesting. PDF. Okay, this is show everyone contest. I know this. That's wonderful. What? Okay. Bro, fuck that. Cool. Assign or retry. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, bro. What is risk management? Initiation. Google Drive. In-depth discussion on product risk analysis. What is that? Yeah, go ahead. Mhm. What is that then? Session record. Um, what is this? I want to see what is this. Interaction risk management.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm not sure where everybody is. There's 68 of us on this call, and I'm sure you're all over the place. I'm in Florida, so, um, but I am here to talk to you about interaction of risk management specifically and design controls. Risk management goes far beyond just design controls, but today we're just going to talk about design controls. Okay, so if we could go to the next slide, please. So, a little bit about my background. I have a master's degree in design and development from Northwestern School of Engineering, Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. I've been in the medical device field for over 40 years. I started when I was very young, like 5 years old, because I'm not that old. But I have 29 of my years were in vitro diagnostics, 3 years in molecular in vitro diagnostics, and then 3 years I worked in medical experience before I retired was from Abbott. I worked for Abbott for all those years, different places, but that's where I worked. I worked in a lot of different areas. I worked probably half of my life in R&D, developing products, and then I did some on-market technical support. I did some work in a couple of areas in QA. I had ownership over internal audit, design QA, clinical investigations I worked on, and quality system software QA. I've been involved in ISO 14971, which is the medical device risk management standard, the international standard. Um,
It is interesting, but I'm not interested in it. You know. Sorry, but I'm sorry. Complain. What is this? I see, I see, I see. This is a risk management. My cars. Okay, my cars. The my cars is onboarded. Continuing education, credit tracking, instruction quality program. Everyone has access to my cars. For more information, you go to my asset, my models, use return component. I said, yeah, what is it component? Hmm. Okay, inspection proof in preparation for car inspection. Administration modules used by training. Access. Access qualification. Only individual who have been. Alright, that makes sense. Hmm. What is used for equipment maintenance? Okay. Okay. I think that one is easy. What is complain? You wanna complain? Why is complaints reporting? What do I do? Okay, where do you complain go? Alright. Why are they giving me all of this though? I see, I see, I see. She's this group of people existed. What? Pathology operations supervisor. Oh. Okay. Oh, the only Sarah is given document owned by two benefiting people. need oh. Mm. Require personal documentation. Complain. Mm. I got that portion. Okay. State your kids and that shit is all right. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Sorry, guys. I was running. I was doing my assignment while talking, while streaming. Do, 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 do. Mm. Mm. What?
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi praising improving its relationship with China. This guy doesn't have a any accent, and he definitely doesn't have a British accent. Mo, he has a Western accent. He said that he's living in the West. He already said that. I think it's in Europe or some shit. So who's your accent? Like,
When you change the way you talk to yourself, when you move from a more
Mhm. Mhm.
I thought it was the left that wanted to defund the police, but maybe I'm just mistaken.
Well, there are people on the left who wanted to defund the police, but Donald Trump actually defunded the police.
Oh, you think so?
Well, did he sign the Republican budget?
Yeah, having a budget.
America is a mess right now. The white supremacy is going above and beyond. I met with an accident today, and the one who bumped into me was white. My police officer who came was a white. The person who bumped in my car was obviously so high and so drunk that he couldn't handle himself. But because both of them were white and I was brown, no actions were taken against him. He was let go freely, and he would just say that this is a ticket and that's all. And like if it was somebody else, a black person or a brown person, then that person would be knocked down. But here, the white person was let go. I had a daughter in my car. We had such a mental breakdown after that crash, but nothing was taken. America is a mess right now. The white supremacy is going above and beyond. I met with an accident today, and the one who bumped into me was white. My police officer who came was a white. The person who bumped in my car was obviously so high and so drunk that he couldn't handle himself. But because both of them were white and I was brown, no actions were taken against him. He was let go freely, and he would just say that this is a ticket and that's all. And like if it was somebody else, a black person or a brown person, then that person would be knocked down. But here, the white person was let go. I had a daughter in my car. We had such a mental breakdown after that crash, but nothing was taken.
Earlier from USA, Mongolia. From USA. From USA. It's Mongolian. Thank you, marry me.
mon ami, si tu veux retrouver ton ventre plat, voici le gage le plus simple.
Yes, I am the other half of the problem. I've been dating a black man for the past 6 years, and that is the reason why she wants nothing to do with me. She has called me a dirty prostitute for falling in love with somebody of a different background. And she told me that as long as I am dating a black man, she wants absolutely nothing to do with me. When my kids tell her that he's a great guy and they love him so much, she says that's impossible. He's bad because he's black. So I either had to do what made me happy or have a relationship with my mother. And I think at this point, I can't have a relationship with somebody who is that racist.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Who is this person? What is going on?
Okay, so story time. I do want to put a disclaimer. Please do not judge me. Please do not have any type of negativity to say about me as a person, as character.
Sí, sí,
I
amigo.
have done the work. I have taken accountability. I have been going to therapy for 8 years and I haven't
Amigo.
stopped. I am continuing to work on myself.
What's going on, amigo?
Did I mention that I have taken accountability? Okay. So
Gracias.
I ended up getting
Gracias, amigo.
15 seconds is all.
Make Melania come again. What?
Now, if you're struggling with your weight like I was,
J'ai une question pour les lesbiennes. Ça me regarde pas, mais j'ai trop envie de savoir. Et y a pas de blague, y a pas de jugement, c'est une vraie question. Quand t'es une lesbienne à 100%, t'es pas bi, t'es juste lesbienne, et que tu sors avec une meuf, on dirait un gars. Ah, juste un peu, on dirait vraiment un gars. Comment elle s'habille, comment elle parle, tout d'un gars. Est-ce que t'es vraiment lesbienne? Parce que si on ajoute à ça le fait que dans l'intimité, il est possible que cette meuf qui ressemble à un gars mette une ceinture avec, comment dire ça, avec glace, une ceinture qui ferait qu'elle aurait l'organe d'un homme. Ça ferait qu'elle ressemblerait.
We got here because the President of the United States is one of the most unpopular presidents in U.S. history. We got here because he recognizes that he will lose the election. Congress will go back into the hands of the Democratic Party next November. He recognized that, and that's why he made a phone call to Greg Abbott asking for 5 seats. You can't win by playing the traditional sense of rules. He plays by their rules. And I remind you all the time, that's not what we're looking for.
Yo, Frog, what's up, Frog? What you doing? I'm just watching some Instagram, some TikTok reel.
I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Yo,
You ain't got nothing on me.
gracias,
Who
gracias.
sent you?
No, I'm trying to. Sorry. I don't know what's going on.
Thank you.
Dave Marte from the Market.
You guys don't even know what I had to do. The nurse, her name was Nancy. I remember, and she was like, "What's going on, hun? What's going on?" And I'm like, "I'm taking this new dose."
I am the handler of Queen Nancy. I am the inferior mistress, and I also play as a surrogate for the queen. I'm also the bondwoman of the queen, which means I do not have the formal title of a wife, but he is my husband, and we are a tribe.
The kingdom of Kubala has been on a pilgrimage to a lost heritage following the roots of our ancestors back to the land where Jacob, our forefather, made a stone,
Yeah.
a stone of scorn, and he blessed it with oil. After he poured the oil, he said, one day, the Messiah.
And black Americans built this country, not Africans, don't you forget.
Africans only make up 1% of America's entire population. Black Americans make about 14%. So stop blaming us for everything that goes on in your country. Most of us are not even in America. We don't know what's going on there. If black businesses are not thriving, that's your problem because you're in America. Stop blaming us. We're not stealing your culture. We are not stealing your land. We don't even have the money to do that. So stop blaming us for everything, bro. We only make up 1% of the population. Please leave us alone.
Right, painting of pure Arab in Arabia from 19th century. That's pure Arab. Damn, bro. I don't know if that help you sleep. I guess. Pure Arab.
You live in California?
Yep.
What do you think? You're the coolest guy in the parking lot, and then this guy shows up.
Oh, Gavin Newsom has this. Look at this guy. He has his
You're the
truck.
coolest guy in the parking lot, and then this
Is
guy
this
shows
kind
up.
of like MAGA thing? I remember when MAGA people who support Donald Trump used to have their truck painted,
What do you think? You're the coolest guy in
decorated
the
in
parking lot,
MAGA.
and then this guy shows up.
Now we're having people supporting Gavin Newsom.
At 5:30 this past Monday morning, 34-year-old wife and mother Emily Long shot and killed her 8-year-old son Parker, 6-year-old daughter Ryan, her 48-year-old husband, also named Ryan, and then herself. Shockingly, when police were called to the home later that night, they found a third child, a 3-year-old toddler, alive and unharmed. Ryan Long, who was a school psychologist, had been diagnosed with a very aggressive brain tumor. Emily had been posting to TikTok discussing the impact the diagnosis was having on her family, and just days before the murder, she posted this.
Our kids are definitely struggling. Now I'm starting to notice some changes in our 3-year-old. I have been struggling so much and really depressed and just wanted to be with my kids and my husband. I am making a change. It is starting today. I am going to start getting dressed. I need to become more social again. In the past month, I have basically declined 98% of all offers. I'm making a point to get out of my depression and do this for my family.
Police have said Ryan's health issue was not the only stressor within the home, and that there was a financial component to this situation as well. At 5:30 this past Monday morning, 34-year-old wife and mother Emily Long shot and killed her 8-year-old son Parker, 6-year-old daughter Ryan, her 48-year-old husband, also.
Who's this? Demetrios, what's up, bro?
All right, can somebody please tell me why these Africans have so many ideas about how to make.
What's up, bro? Is that Danielle? Danielle. What's up, man? Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you.
Be here or some friends that are the OG friends. So guys, right now click the share buttons right here so you can also even share our live stream to your family, to our friends, like them to come to our channel because you know this channel is the local shelf and then we ship from the California warehouse and then right now we're still selling for the level second generation policies right here. Let me go ahead
Danielle,
and
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
get the extra
I
free
appreciate
shipping on
that.
all the items.
I'm moving back to New York in 2 weeks and I'm looking for apartments. Here's what 8,500 can get us in downtown Brooklyn. I just finished my MBA at Harvard and my grad school condo is a 2-bed, 2-bath with a den, about 1,500 square feet. I'm trying to avoid the inevitable
Daniela.
downsides as much as
Danielle.
possible, so let's see what we can find. First building I looked at is brand new in a perfect location right by a subway station and only one stop outside Manhattan. I love the finishes, they're super premium, and there's nothing I hate more than the
Cash, I don't want you really good at everything but head. I don't want your I don't want that shit. Matter of fact, I want your friend. I'm allowed to squash. Really time to big cash. I don't want you really good at everything but head. I don't want your I don't want that shit. Matter of fact, I want your friend. I'm allowed to.
Donc là, je suis avec mon chien qui veut vous présenter tous les tours qu'elle sait faire. Donc vous avez intérêt à la regarder et aussi à lui dire que c'est très bien. Ok, donc c'est parti. Viens, recule, assise. When you've been told that you are ugly, fat, stupid your entire life, it really messes with your head. I'm still, after 40 years, trying to figure out how to change that mentality. I got married at a young age. I was 25 when I got married, and I thought that I could get away from my parents and get away from that verbal and emotional abuse, but it just carried on into my marriage. And, you know, he wouldn't flat out say that you were ugly, stupid, or dumb, but he would just make these comments. Like, if I put on makeup, he would call me a clown. I remember after I had one of my kids, I was trying to work out, trying to bring my, you know, my weight back down, and he would make fun of me while I was working out. It would be things like that. And so it just continued.
true. I've been dealing with insecurity my entire life, and I've made some really terrible choices because of my insecurities. And it's not an excuse, but um, that's why I'm in therapy for this long, because it's so deep rooted, and every time I feel like I'm making progress, I keep taking steps back. And so that's why I'm continuing to work on myself. When
People are suffering, man, in this world. People are suffering. A lot of people are struggling. I think it's just lack of movement. People need to start doing activities, man. Just stay active, man. Don't stay in one place.
He's gonna cheeseburger. That's crazy. Huh? Pretzel. No, this is gonna be a joke. Nah. These Africans have so many ideas about how to fix Black America and how to fix America, but they can't even fix their own country. They can't even fix Angola. They can't even fix Ghana. They can't fix Nigeria. They can't fix Jamaica. They can't fix Haiti. God knows they can't fix Haiti because that has been a hot mess for generations. But yet, they come here and they have all these ideas about what America should do for Black people and how America has failed and how America should be fixed and how Trump is bad and how Republicans are bad and how what Black Americans need to do. I will tell you that.
Oh.
Il y a un peu plus de 8 ans, après avoir passé à travers mon cursus de formation militaire, je suis rentré avec un peu d'économie et d'épargne. Alors, j'étais face avec ça.
Governor, what do you make of people like Greg Abbott, who has gone on Fox News in recent days and said that California is the problem, not Texas, and that he and other Republicans are going to try to take legal action to strike it down, as Aaron just kind of alluded to in
Well,
California?
I thought there was some AI. I saw some. Honestly, I thought, though, this is obviously fake. I mean, it's delusional. Look in the mirror, sir. You're the one who initiated this. You coward. You coward. You couldn't stand up to the bully. You couldn't stand up to Donald Trump. You had to kiss his feet. You know, you couldn't stand up for our democracy. Couldn't stand up for principles. You had to do something that's unprecedented midterm redistricting. I saw some of his comments. They're ludicrous. And I'll remind him, but I'll remind everybody, if they don't move, if Republicans stand back, they have an operator. This.
I'm sorry.
Hmm.
That's not intentional, right? No.
There are only two countries in Latin America that did not achieve their independence from Spain. That is Panama and the Dominican Republic. Our independence happened from Haiti. We declared what we called an ephemeral independence in 1821. And within a month or so, Haitians occupied our side of the island as well. So we were under Haitian occupation for 22 years, from 1822 until 1844, when we declared independence. But then, for the next 12 years, Haitian armies continued to invade the Dominican Republic, trying trying to recapture the country. So this is one of the fundamental reasons that perhaps the international community is not aware. There are only two countries in Latin America that did not achieve their independence from Spain. That is Panama and the Dominican Republic. Our independence happened from Haiti. We declared a what we call an ephemeral independence in 1821, and within a month or so, Haitians occupied our side of the island as well. So we were under Haitian occupation for 22 years, from 1822 until 1844, when we declared independence. But then, for the next 12 years, Haitian armies continued to invade the Dominican Republic, trying to recapture the country. So this is one of the fundamental reasons that perhaps the international community is not aware. There are only two countries in Latin America that did not achieve their independence from Spain. That is Panama and the Dominican Republic. Our independence happened from Haiti. We declared a what we call an ephemeral independence in 1821, and within a month or so, Haitians occupied our side of the island as well. So we were under Haitian occupation for 22 years, from 1822 until 1844, when we declared independence. But then, for the next 12 years, Haitian armies continued to invade the Dominican Republic, trying to recapture the country. So this is one of the fundamental reasons that perhaps the international community is not aware. There are only two countries in Latin America that did not achieve their independence from Spain. That is Panama.
If you're an immigrant working corporate America, here are the 5 things you need to know. Number one, everybody in corporate America is fake. So start getting really used to people being really happy toward you in person, but then pretty miserable on the inside. Or start getting used to people being excited about being assigned to do something in a meeting, but then complain about it afterwards. Everybody's fake in every interaction. So put on your happy face, because you better join the fake crowd, because that's going to happen to you if you want to be successful. Number two, everybody in corporate America will brag about their accomplishments. Bragging is part of success in corporate. It is not only something that you could do, it's something that you absolutely should do in order for people to be recognizing your success. Because the reality is, if everybody around you in corporate is bragging about every little thing they did and you're not, everyone just assumes that maybe you're not that amazing. So get on the bandwagon and start being comfortable with bragging or speaking out about your accomplishments. Number three, if somebody asks you if you're an expert in something or if you're very knowledgeable, be prepared to just say yes. People in corporate America will never hesitate to say that they're an expert or extremely knowledgeable in something. So a lot of us who are immigrants, when we're asked a question on an interview, how well do you know this, or how well do you know maybe this programming language, whatever it is, a lot of us will hedge. We'll say, well, I've studied this and that, but I need more experience in this thing, or I'm really knowledgeable in this, but I've never worked in this area. We kind of truly give an honest opinion of how well we know something when we're asked. In America, you're going to name yourself an expert even if you've done it for 2 days, okay? And everyone's going to do that. So if you're in an interview and somebody says, how well do you know something? If you know what it is, you're going to talk about how well you know it. You are not going to actually give them the true opinion that maybe you don't know it that well. So get used to the fact that you're now pretty much an expert in every single thing that you might have done. Number four, be prepared that no one's going to say hello or goodbye to you when you come into work. So you know how in every other country people actually say good morning to you and goodbye, even if you're just acquaintances in an office? In corporate America, no one's going to say hello or goodbye to you, and that is just normal part of working corporate. It's not because they don't like you or have anything against you. It's just not customary here to give basic greetings in corporate America, especially on the East Coast. So maybe on the West Coast or in southern states, you'll actually get some of the friendliness. Not on the East Coast, not at any office. So if someone doesn't say hi to you, it's not because they don't like you, it's just because that's not part of the culture here. And number five, don't publicly disagree with anybody at any meeting. So if you hear something and it's incorrect, you don't want to start voicing in front of all the people in the meeting that you disagree or explaining to the person of why they're incorrect. You can take that offline and discuss with that person why you disagree at a later setting, or maybe follow up in a separate email to that person of what that is. But you want to avoid conflict, especially public settings, because corporate America is not direct. Remember I said the whole fake thing? Same thing with this. Don't be direct about things you disagree on, because you're going to be seen as a negative person in the office. So hope that helps for anybody who's new to America.
It helps.
details may be tough to hear. The examiner says 8-year-old Parker and 6-year-old Ryan both died from gunshot wounds to the head. Their mother, Emily, and their father, also named Ryan, died from gunshot wounds as well. The examiner's report says that Emily's gunshot wound was self-inflicted and her death is being considered a suicide. The other 3 deaths are being considered homicides. Now, a toddler was also in that home but was physically unharmed.
We've been able to determine the time period of when this occurred. It was roughly on Monday morning, a little bit after 5:30 in the morning. Motives, I think, in a situation like this are always very, very tricky. Try not to identify any one particular stressor. Certainly, investigators are aware of several different stressors that have been reported and that they've been taking information on. Some that involved the idea of what was going on with the money situation, another one with the health situation. I think the big thing is to try not to speculate that there's any one reason like something like this would happen. So while investigators are going to be listening to more information, I don't know that we're ever truly going to get the calls.
A reminder here, help is always available. You can always call the suicide prevention hotline at 988.
This piece of oven has...
It's crazy that some Black Americans are desperate to dissociate themselves from Africa.
Well, in the merry month of May, from me home I started, left the girls at home, were nearly broken hearted, saluted by the dear. No, it's the sayings of the prophet. Yeah. Okay,
For whatever reason, people seem to be confused about where I'm from. And big forehead, long face, skin. I don't know. In real life, people guess my ethnicity in like 1 second.
Imagine what your business would do.
So I'm sitting here and I'm feeling kind of emotional. And I reached for my phone to see if I can text somebody to, like just try to talk through these emotions. And I scrolled through my texts and it was just a bunch of spam. Like, there wasn't a single person on there that I could just pick up the phone and talk to. I think I just realized in that moment how alone I really am. And how I really, really don't have friends, like true friends that I could just call. I've never felt so lonely. So I'm sitting here and I'm feeling kind of...
I've said it before, and I'll say it again, because too many of you are still learning this the hard way. This is the real tea about corporate America. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here, you already know. Hi, I'm Deepali Vyas, 25 years in executive search. I don't sugarcoat it, I spill what's actually happening behind closed doors and why good people keep getting blindsided. Because let me tell you something, hard work isn't enough. Being nice isn't a strategy. And performance, it only matters if the right people are watching. Let me show you how the game is played, level by level. Let's start with the individual contributor. At the IC level, it's simple. Deliver, don't complain, don't make waves, say yes a lot, hit your numbers, and make your manager's life easier. You're not in the decision room, but you are the easiest to cut when things go sideways. Why? Because in the org chart, you're replaceable. Not because you're bad, because you're invisible. Let's move to middle management, or what I like to describe as the human shield. Now you're in no man's land. You're stuck translating executive fantasy into team execution. You say, of course, to your boss a lot, and then turn around and whisper to your team, I know this is impossible, but we have to deliver. You are the buffer, the peacekeeper, the one absorbing pressure from above and resentment from below. Burnout is not a risk, it's a requirement. Now we get to the VP SVP level, otherwise known as storyteller-in-chief. At this level, it's not about results, it's about reputation. You're crafting a narrative for the C-suite. The pipeline is strong, the team is energized, just ironing out a few challenges. Meanwhile, your team's on LinkedIn, updating resumes and quietly crying in the bathroom. And that's why most VPs don't last more than 18 to 24 months. Eventually, the spin catches up. Then there's the C-suite, where it's optics over everything. You made it to the top? Congrats. Now your real job begins, managing perception. You're no longer rewarded for fixing problems. You're rewarded for how well you frame them. The board doesn't want reality. They want a vision. Innovation is booming. Culture's thriving. We've got 10 billion leads and hockey stick growth. Meanwhile, your staff is begging for resources and wondering why Slack is down again. Now, here's the part that no one says out loud, but I will. Likability is leverage. The people who get pulled into new roles when execs jump ship, they're not always the smartest. They're the ones people like working with. The ones who made others feel seen, supported, and trusted. Because in this game, people don't hire the best. They hire familiar. They hire the easy button. They hire the person they already know won't make their life harder. So no, it's not fair, but it is the game. And I'm not here to tell you to work harder. I'm here to tell you how the insiders win. Because I've been in those boardrooms, I've helped build those teams, and I know what actually moves the needle. Be good at your job. Make people want to work with you again. And never forget, it's not a ladder, it's a game. And look, this isn't about fear, it's about clarity. If you understand how the game is really played, you stop taking things personally. You stop wondering why less talented people get promoted, and you start moving strategically. I'm Deepali Vyas, your elite recruiter and your corporate.
Very insightful.
Doing
Very
research
insightful.
for you so you don't have to. Like and follow and sign up for my newsletter, The Elite Edge, because no one's ever told you how this works, and it's time someone did.
That was very insightful.
I will never shoot.
I've said it before.
Let me see her page.
All right, everybody, I'm going to do a lightning round of corporate truths that no one is talking about, but every professional needs to hear. I'm not here to spread fear. I'm here to share the realities of things that I wish someone had told me earlier in my career, or even now. Because when you understand how the system really works, you stop getting blindsided and start making smarter moves. Knowledge is power. That's also protection. For those of you that don't know me, hi, I'm Deepali Vyas, 25-year executive recruiter and career coach. I've seen hiring decisions, closed-door meetings, the real conversations behind promotions and layoffs, and after years of being diplomatic because the roles I've held, I'm done sugarcoating. It's time for real talk. Let's get into it. You might want to bookmark this for future reference. Just saying. All right, truth number one. Performance doesn't get you promoted. Visibility does. If the right people don't know your name, your hard work means nothing. Truth number two. Your job is replaceable, but you are not. Build your personal brand, because when a company cuts you loose, that's all you have. And truth number three. Loyalty won't pay your bills. Job hoppers get 30 to 50% salary bumps. Stay put and you get a 3% raise and a pat on the back. Truth number four. Office politics aren't optional. You can hate them, but they'll still decide your future. Play smart or get played. Truth number five. Your manager is not your mentor. They're chasing their own promotion, not yours. Be your own advocate. Truth number six. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. Corporate will take everything you give and still ask for more. Protect your time. Truth number seven. The open door policy is a trap. Speak up too much and you're a problem. Stay quiet and you're invisible. Choose wisely. Truth number eight. Your salary is not about what you're worth. It's about what you negotiate. Don't ask, don't get. Truth number nine. Networking isn't about being social. It's survival. The right connections will open doors your skills alone can't. And truth number 10. Your career is your responsibility. No one's coming to save you. Own it or get left behind. And here's the thing. I'm not saying this to make you cynical. I'm saying this to make you prepared. Understanding how the system works doesn't mean you have to play dirty. It means you have to navigate smarter, protect yourself, and stay one step ahead. So if you're sitting there, nodding your head, feeling the sting of this truth, good. That means you're ready to take control. Share this with someone who needs a reality check. Like and follow, and if you're done waiting for opportunities and ready to create them, my links are in my bio. Sign up for my newsletter or book a session with me.
Interesting.
Let's rewrite your career playbook together. But just know, I'm not stopping there. I'm going to keep bringing you more tips, hacks, unwritten rules, the things you should be. You guys want to know where the next wave of millionaires are going to come from? It's not what you think. It's not Silicon Valley, and it's not Wall Street. I read the most interesting article in the Wall Street Journal wave of the next generation of millionaires is actually coming from non-traditional jobs like plumbing, HVAC, and other skilled trades. And I've been talking about this for a little while, but get this, you don't, you guys, have you heard?
Okay, what I would do in my first 30-day job hunting after a layoff at 50 plus that make interview easier. Update your LinkedIn photo, no more decade old headshot. Activate your network before target age friendly company. Lead with recent win, not your entire career history. Mm, that
What
makes
are the
sense.
top 3 skills future HR professionals need to stand out? Great question. And here's my take. HR is no longer just about compliance and culture. The future of HR is strategic, data-driven, and tech-savvy. So if you want to stay relevant or rise fast, here's what gives you the edge. The top 3 skills for next-gen HR professionals. Number 1, people analytics. Data is your superpower. If you can analyze turnover trends, forecast talent needs, or tie engagement to performance, you're no longer. I had to respond to this comment.
How to transition from teacher to remote job now?
Landed the job. New type. You guys, remember when I brought you the trend of if your boss does any of these 5 things, you're not just dealing with a bad manager, you're working for someone. And I'll say it again.
I will never shoot my shot. I will never, never, ever, ever shoot my shot again.
Why?
I will never do it. Never, ever, ever again.
Tell us
Ever,
why.
Ever, ever, ever. I will never shoot my shot. I will never, never, ever, ever shoot my shot again.
This is amazing. You can put this.
There's been a murder-suicide out of Madbury.
How's this communism work?
China, look at China.
What about China works with?
Aside from the fact that China's the strongest economy in the world right now, there's obviously the fact that average wages in China tripled over the past.
Oh, so before we go any further, do you really want to defend the Chinese Communist Party against me?
Sure.
So Uyghur Muslims, how do you feel about them? So you're pro-concentration camp?
No, not pro-concentration.
Oh, where are the Uyghur Muslims right now?
Do you know what the East Turkmenistan movement
No,
is?
don't change topic.
I'm not. This is the same topic.
Uyghur Muslims.
You don't know that the East Turkmenistan movement was labeled by the United States of America as a terrorist
Oh, got
organization.
it. Okay, pro-concentration
Inside
camp.
of China.
Got it. What about
That's
the
not
one-child policy for
Hold up.
40 years?
No, we need to stop right here because first and foremost, you pushed earlier the double genocide theory, which,
No.
by the way, Holocaust scholars have
You
very
are pro-genocide,
explicitly.
but anyway,
Let's stop right
saying
here.
no doesn't make
The
it.
double genocide theory is literally Nazi propaganda. The whole idea was to say that the obvious, a famine. They're trying to equate that to the invasion and the mass murder committed by the Nazis. They're literally Nazis that intentionally push that theory. Why do you think that Israel, to this very day, actually has tensions with specific people in Ukraine who are pushing that double genocide theory? Because the truth is, a famine and the mismanagement of
I'm
resources
talking about in
is
addition,
not
mass
the
graves,
same
gulags, and all that.
as an
But let's talk about the CCP. So, you cool with the one-child policy?
It doesn't matter what I'm cool with. The reality is
That's
that
a policy of the CCP for years, where they would murder another child if you have more than one kid.
look, what we need to understand is that China is a democracy, and they are going to make laws
Wait, hold on a second.
based
Wait,
off of their
how are they a
material.
How are they a democracy?
Are you kidding me? Aside from the fact that the central government has a 95% approval rating, which, by the way, before you're like, oh, but
Have you been to China?
Of course.
Oh, so you must be a subject matter expert.
I'm not.
Yes, it's interesting. So, okay, so democracy. Do they have senators or congressmen?
What does it
in
take?
China?
Well, there's about 1,000 members of their National People's Congress, and then obviously they have a system of local people's
And
Congress.
so you don't think those elections
No,
are
I'm
rigged?
going to test you. What does it take to get on the ballot in China?
What is it? A lot of money, power, and influence in killing the right people.
Oh, that's weird, because it's actually illegal to spend money on campaigning in China. There's actually a very
So
specific.
you think that a dissident Chinese person could run up against Xi Jinping right now? So let me ask you a question.
How do you think?
You're
How do you
CCP.
think?
So you think it's okay?
How do you think elections work in China?
How do you? It's very simple. You're born into the right family. You have connections to the right people.
You can't answer.
What's Xi Jinping's
What does
lineage?
it take to get on the ballot in China?
You have to have the right
You don't know
connections.
the
Yes,
answer.
I do.
No,
I do know. You can't just all of a sudden pop up.
Have you read the law? Have you read their law?
What
I
happened to
actually
Tiananmen?
have actually
Hold on a
read
second.
their.
I think the law actually
Here's
applies.
the chat. Look,
What happened to Tiananmen Square?
Listen, this is the answer.
What happened
This
to
is the answer
Tiananmen
that
Square?
Charlie Kirk doesn't know because he has no idea how
What happened to Tiananmen Square?
You need to get
Charlie, what is his name? Charlie Kirk got destroyed.
How many people does it take to start a recall in
How
China?
many temples did they destroy in Tibet?
How
on a full flight from Istanbul, Turkey to San Francisco, and about 3 hours into the flight, they make an announcement asking for a doctor. They're like, if they're
Why are Asians the biggest minority that are so obsessed with being or trying to be accepted by white people? And it's not even just Asian Americans, but even East Asians in their home countries like China, Japan, or Korea, they all almost idealize having this pale figure. I think ever since the rise of K-pop, this has generally died down a little bit, and now it's almost the opposite. But you still see so many people that are trying to be white, that want to be white so bad. And as an Asian person myself, I don't understand why you guys do this and why we obsess over white people like they're superior to us. And you see this in not just Asian girls, of course, with the Oxford study, which I still don't believe in, but even in Asian guys. Like, a lot of them want to be accepted by white people. I personally went through this phase where I wanted to become white. I wanted to have white friends, but then I realized why. You know, I have a great group of Asian friends. I can relate to them over cultural things. It's not that I hate white people. I'm just not obsessed. Listen, if you're an Asian like me, stop idolizing white people. Stop obsessing over becoming white or having white friends or whatever it is. Be yourself, okay? Being Asian is literally not bad at all. It's probably the best minority to be quite honest with you. And stop putting white people on a pedestal and realize that you are destined for greatness. You don't need the approval of some majority, of some white people, white saviors, okay? You are a person. Stop pandering to white people, please.
I'm gonna quit my job right now, and you're gonna listen to the conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna listen.
Yes, hello? Hey, Kevin, this is Johan calling. Yes, hey, how you doing? Hey, not bad, man. Hey, I'm just calling to let you know, man, I got a job offer somewhere else, and I think I'm gonna take it up. And what? And you're gonna... Yeah, I'm accepting a job offer elsewhere. It's local, pays better, home every day. You know, something I can't really pass up. All right. I do have an opening coming up in the local work 3 days a week. Are they going to give you 3 days a week? No, they're going to give me 5, but it's Monday to Friday, and I'm pretty sure, and it's, you know, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm not sure that this guy really can accommodate. Yeah, okay. Alrighty, how much notice are you going to provide here? Oh, well, I'm not going back. I'm just going to start with them on Monday. Yeah, that's pretty shitty, man. That's pretty shitty. I understand, man, but it's not really much I can do here. You know, the sleeping over the road stuff I signed up for, I understand, but I got to think about myself here too. I know it's not convenient for you. Oh. Yeah, okay. Well, just that kind of karma comes back, and you know, burning your bridges here. If you go and you don't like this so much, I had a 3-day work week available for you, and you know, just be aware. You know, burning bridges like this in your career is not a good idea. I understand, man, but you know, I gotta put myself first sometimes. It's not all about burning bridges. Well, okay, well, that's your option, man. That's your option, man. So I get it. Thanks so much. I don't know. Just best of luck. All right, man. Appreciate it. Take it easy. Yeah. Goodbye.
Damn.
Did he say that type of karma comes back to me?
Yes, it did.
Okay. He told me that 3-day work week schedule was going to up and up in maybe 1 year. 1 year. I have to call and quit for you to offer me that? And I promise you that if I was going to get fired, I wouldn't get a 2 weeks notice. That's not going to happen. And you know what? I'm so glad I quit now, because these are the true colors that I was going to run into further down the line sooner or later. Anyway, thank you for tagging along. I'm going to... Yeah.
It's crazy, but I agree. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's right though. Like this job, they don't. You know, when you are getting fired, they're not gonna give you a 3 week notice. You know, or 2 weeks notice, but you know, they expect you to give them a 2 3 weeks notice. And I've seen some videos where um, some employee uh, give three, like they do good by their employers by giving them 2 weeks notice, and then some of these employers just went ahead and fire them within these 2 weeks. So like they destroy your reputation. Like some employer can use it against you once you give them 2 weeks notice and they don't want you to go. They're gonna try to piss you off. You know what I mean? By doing some shady stuff, and if you react anyhow, anyway, then you're fired. So you gotta be careful, man. Sometimes you gotta just feel it. You gotta just know the people that you're working with. Like, you have to know them. You have to know what they're capable of doing. Like, if you know that, if you're not pretty sure about your relation with your employers, just the best way is just to cut them off. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's difficult.
Competent people don't do well at work is because of their personality. So there's so many competent people that are really good at their job that get passed over for promotion, and it is because of their personality. When we talk about personality, we really just need to talk about the big five. This is the most scientifically valid way to talk about personality. Remember, Myers-Briggs has literally no scientific validity. So when we talk about personality, when it comes to psychological research, we talk big five. Sometimes people call this OCEAN because it makes the acronym OCEAN. So that is openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So when we're talking big five and we're talking about advancement and people liking you and people wanting to follow you and listening to you, what we really need to talk about is neuroticism and extroversion. So a lot of individuals who are very competent in their jobs will have high neuroticism. Neuroticism simply means feeling a lot of negative emotion. It means seeing a lot of risk, feeling anxious. And the problem with this is how it makes other people feel. So although your neuroticism often helps you be more intelligent, because neuroticism directly maps onto IQ, your neuroticism also makes people feel like you're nervous and you're worried and you see risk everywhere. Typically, when we're talking about leadership positions, we're going to see a certain level of extroversion. In the big five, basically extroversion just means feeling positive emotion. It doesn't mean what you think when we talk extroversion, introversion. There's actually no introversion personality trait. When psychologists talk about introversion, they just talk about low extroversion. And I mean like personality psychologists, because this is the people that actually study this. And so when we talk about personality psychology, we need to consider that we need to have somewhat of at least moderate extroversion for people to like being around us. Because that means that we will be feeling positive emotion and people will want to listen to our ideas. They'll want to be kind of like infected by the positive emotion and they will want to follow us, right? It's quite rare to follow a leader without a positive vision. I don't know if it's ever happened in history. The thing is, in order to get people to do things, we do need to have a positive vision. And in order to have a positive vision, we need to experience some positive emotion, because how are we going to craft that positive vision without positive emotion? And so individuals who can be super intelligent, super competent, they often lack extroversion, or they have neuroticism that's extremely high. And what happens there is that they come into meetings, they tell everyone all of the risks of the project, they tell everyone what will go wrong, and they're probably right, because they're usually pretty smart. But nobody wants to follow that because there's no positive vision. There's no like arrival point. It's like, oh, okay, cool, so everything's just gonna go wrong, and then what? Like, we're just gonna be in despair. People don't work like that. People need a positive vision. We need hope. Hope is so important to human beings. And if we don't have that, we don't want to follow you, and sometimes we don't even want to be around you. And that's just the way people work, because oftentimes emotions are very contagious. So when we're around someone with very high neuroticism, it makes us feel anxious. And we might even really like the person, but every time we're around them, we feel anxious. And we kind of subconsciously know that, so we sort of start to try to stay away from them. And so if you are experiencing this, if you know that, okay, I am the person that comes into the meeting and just basically tells everyone what will go wrong, and then I think I'm really contributing because I'm right, but I'm kind of stuck and people don't seem to receive it well, there's hope for you. Like, this can be amended, this can be changed, this can be taught. And the cool thing about personality factors is that they can be changed with direction and with a goal in mind and with practice and repetition. So you can actually change the way you show up. You can change how your automatic patterns work by engaging in repetition and a discrete goal towards what are you working towards in changing your personality. So this is actually good news. And if you're someone that is experiencing that, I encourage you to meet with me and we can kind of talk about your particular case, because you are probably like quite competent, at least that's what I've seen in many of my clients, but this one factor is really keeping you stuck because
I got you, lady. I got you. You need to have a positive mindset, and you also need to not get be a little bit nervous. You nervous, you worry too much, you're not gonna go up.
Hey y'all, let's have a story time on how I got terminated as an HR director.
Damn, an HR director got terminated.
Or advocating for employees who are minorities. So I got a complaint on one of our nurse managers about, we'll call her Susie, about how Susie is racist and Susie shows favoritism to the white employees and how the white employees are coming in at higher rates. So, okay, that's Susie. So then I get a complaint from a black nurse, let's call her Ellen. So Ellen comes to me and tells me she wants to go PRN, but she wants to know if she's going to get the PRN rate. I tell her that I was under the impression that we went away with the PRN rate and that we don't have a PRN rate anymore, but I would check with her. Ellen says to me, another nurse, we'll call her Patricia. Patricia, who is white, gets the PRN rate and she just went PRN a couple weeks ago, and Ellen has way more experience than Patricia. Okay. So I said, okay, I'll look into it. So I go and pull all the files and the pay rates and pull licenses to see who has more experience, because when you're basing pay rates, you're basing pay rates on skills, experience, and credentials, okay? So I pull all the charts to figure out, like, okay, is this true? So when I pull the charts, I come across exactly what Ellen said I would come across. The white nurses are coming in at significantly higher rates than the black nurses. The white LPNs are coming in making more than the black RNs who have more experience. So it's not based on experience, skills, ability, none of that.
God damn.
So I call our corporate person and I say, hey, this is what's going on. Like, how do you want me to handle it? And she says, you need to have a conversation with this nurse manager. So I pull the nurse manager in and I tell the nurse manager, like, hey, can you help me understand why this person is coming in making more than this person has been licensed longer, this person has more experience, help me understand. And so the nurse manager says to me, I don't have to help you understand, the pay is at my discretion. So I looked at her, I was like, what are you basing it on? Are you basing it on skill, ability, resumes, negotiation skills? What are you basing it on? She says to me, I don't have to tell you what I'm basing it on because it's my discretion. So I say to her, I said, okay, well, I'm going to create an email with you and the corporate HR person, and we're going to figure this out, because when I'm pulling these charts, something isn't right. And I've already gotten complaints about this nurse manager being racist. So I said, okay, well, you, me, and we'll call the corporate person Priscilla. Me, you, and Priscilla need to have a conversation, and we need to figure out why pay isn't consistent across the board. Hey, y'all.
Damn. This is very unfortunate, very unfortunate, and I don't know, man. I don't know. We need to just reach a point where we can automate everything, man, because human being will always have favoritism. You know, they will always favor one individual over another person. And some people, even when you're getting, some people are very acceptable by the majority of the society. They're very likable, And so even the fact that some people can negotiate because they're just very likable, um, during the hiring process, they can negotiate a better rate, a better pay, just based on their likability, not based on the experience that they have. And then you have another person who's like, Meg, just like what she's explaining. You have a person that have experience, being there a longer time, but because of the way they are, their personality is not likable. They may end up getting paid less and all of that nonsense. All of it is can be attributed to the human being, the fact that we human being cannot be fair. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Even between your two children, you cannot be fair. That's how difficult it is. You can't be fair between you can't be fair between your two children. How can you be fair between two strangers, two foreigners? So this hiring process need to just we need to just completely change the way we do things, like automate everything. I am for automation, bro. Let the robot do the thing. Just give them criteria. The robot will not know your face. They will not know whether you're man or woman, whether you're black, white, short, tall, good looking, not good looking. The robot will just go with the experience, and it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that people. But I applaud her. I applaud her. She was. Some people will play the politics. Some people will see this wrong and they will never address it. They will not risk their position. Um, but she actually managed to, she risked her position, and she was, and that's it is something that is interesting. That is a character that is likable. Let me see. Where's the second part? This is the second
All
part.
right, y'all. So let's get into part two of how I got terminated as HR director for advocating for minority employees. So I already gave y'all part one and told y'all how we got here. So let's rewind a little bit. Last week, it was the same situation with our therapy department. I had an employee come and say to me, I am the lowest paid employee in this facility and I have the same experience. So that triggered me to look into the therapy department. And then I emailed the owner and said, hey, can you help me understand the pay tiers, what we're basing pay on? Are we basing it on experience? Because in my experience, a PRM rate is a set rate. It doesn't go by experience, it just is what it is. And so he reached out to that regional director, and I guess that made that director feel some type of way. So he came and asked me, he was like, hey, he told me you reached out to him. Is there an issue? I said, there is no issue. But as an HR director, I need to understand how we're paying people so that I can answer the questions correctly when they bring them to me. So the example with the therapy department is his black therapy director was making significantly less money than his white therapist. And she's also a therapist. So I was able to get her a $2 raise, which is nothing because she was still like $10 lower than they were. I also was able to get one of their codas a $2 raise as well. This person was significantly lower paid compared to the other PRN coda. So I was able to get them raises. So fast forward, we got here to nursing. So after I questioned the DON about the pay rates, then like the atmosphere just started changing. And the administrator came to me and she was like, you have other things that you need to worry about. You shouldn't be worried about pay. What we bring people in at is what we bring people in at. Pay is really, that's nothing that we should be concerned about right now. I said, as the HR director, that is something that we should be concerned about, because if somebody from a protected class comes and says that they're not getting paid compared to their white counterparts, then we're going to be in court. And so I was trying to explain that to her, and then like the atmosphere just shifted. It became a hostile work environment the whole day yesterday. So I said to the administrator, I said, did something else happen? Because ever since I've asked about the pay, and now it's becoming a hostile work environment, it's just not, it's not conducive to my mental health. So is there something that I did? I would love to have a conversation. She responded back and was like, just give me a pay report when you get a chance. So I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of knew it was coming. So today I get to work, and before morning meeting, she texted me and was like, hey, can you come to my office? So I go to her office, and she said, we're just going to go ahead and part ways because because you're not a good fit. I said, when did I become not a good fit? She said, yesterday. And I said, oh, okay, because I just helped you pass a state survey. I literally just cleaned up your whole entire department. Mind you, I walked into a hot mess. Helped her clean up her whole department. She told me I wasn't a good fit today. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, honestly, this could have been an email. I'd have to get out. All right, y'all. So everybody who keeps making comments like this, it's clear that y'all are dense as fuck.
Bro, that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. That is crazy. Human beings are just some of the craziest animal on the planet. We are very tricky as human beings. We are very, very tricky. I don't even know what to say.
And y'all don't know what HR's job is. HR is there to protect the company and protect employees. Human resources. We are there to be a resource for the humans that work for the company. Yes, our job is to advocate for the organization. A part of advocating for the organization is keeping the company out of court. So let's play if Johnny has 6 apples. So if you have a protected class,
Bro, don't listen to people. Don't listen to people.
Before you make your next impression, best way to deal with bullies at work.
Oh man, that's crazy. That is crazy. Man, if you can find a way to make your money without being in a corporate world, that is great, bro. The corporate world is so not healthy. It's so toxic. Sometimes it can be toxic. Some people manage to navigate it without having any mental drainage, but it's not corporate world is not for everybody though. That's what I can say.
Is to beat them at their own game. But you're not a bully, so I'm gonna show you how to do it the corporate game way. Because you can't play the game if you don't know the rules. Hi, my name is Beverly. I'm a COO and your Corporate Empowerment Officer. If you have somebody at your office or a group of people at your office who are bullies, first of all, I see you. As a survivor of both bullying in my youth and also bullying in the professional space, you are so very seen here, and thank you for being here. The first thing that I want you to do is start documenting everything. And careful, this isn't going the way you think it is with HR and all the other stuff. No, no, no. Document everything. Every petty comment, everything that feels like gaslighting, everything that feels like they're being petty, anything that feels like it's under the breath, I want you to document the date and the time. Screenshot anything that you have, emails, messages on whatever chat platform you use, screenshot it all and then send it to your personal email. And then I want you to wait, because if they have been trying you, they are going to think that they're getting under your skin. And maybe you are showing that to them because you're freaking tired of being bullied and all you want to do is just eat and pay these bills. Like, it just, but the time is going to come where you're going to be presented with an opportunity, where you are going to be able to showcase your class in a way that they will not expect. I then want you to start applying. Don't say anything, act like everything is normal, but apply, apply, apply. Start applying to other jobs. Because the opportunities, it's almost about to knock, but keep with me. You need an
Oh shit.
and you're gonna get a job. When you get this next job, I don't want you to put in that 2 weeks just yet. Make sure you take all the documentation that you have. Make sure you take every freaking thing you got. Turn in your 2 weeks with that transition plan that's in my link in bio. Do not do an exit interview with HR. And if they try to make you or make you feel guilty for not doing one or tell you that it's standard, make yourself busy. Because on your last day, you are going to file a complaint with the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, if you live in the US. And what you're going to do is on their page, there is a form that says file a complaint. But you saw this video, so you're going to have months and months of documentation. And you're going to submit that complaint with indisputable evidence to the fact that you were being harmed egregiously at your organization. Because here's what happens. When the EEOC takes the helm, you're not paying for legal fees. Lack of psychological safety, egregious harm, quid pro quo, all those HRA terms that you listen to in those training, yeah, you're sending all that over to them. And then the EEOC is going to review, because you've had robust documentation that's dated, that's timed, that's neutral. Yeah, they're going to go after the business, because that's their job, is to protect employees. But you see what the problem is? People don't do that. They don't file complaints. They
they go on with their trauma and take that with them, and then they carry it and double it at the next company because they're so exhausted by being traumatized. And even I am guilty of this, where I have experienced really difficult harms at different places in my career. And I think about it now and wish I had have done so, because by you doing this, you are not being petty by spewing it all out in an HR interview. You're not being out of your character by quitting on the spot when typically you'll give a week or two or whatever it is you give. You're being strategic, because now it is an official issue, and if it's all documented, it's inarguable. They may try to argue, obviously, but a lot of companies will have lawyers and teams that whose job it is to fight when people sue them. And in a lot of cases, you'll get yourself a little check, because that's how you get back at these bullies. You get paid, because they'll want to settle with you if there is very much a probable cause that results in you having a pretty strong case. And if there are any legal community members on here, why don't you give some insight on how many of these cases are often settled out of court before they go to trial? And by you filing a formal complaint, you are going a strategic route that will not only empower you, but will put that company on notice. Because if that behavior is allowed, if it's tolerated, then that means that that is toxic for everyone, even the people who are engaging in the bullying behavior. And now you may get yourself a little check and be on your way to the Maldives or wherever you want to go. And they'll be figuring out and scrambling as to why there's an internal investigation because of all of your exceptional documentation. Because the best way to beat a bully is to bully them with class and with policy. The best way to deal with bullies at work.
Interesting, guys. You need to take note, man. You need to take note if you are about to work in the corporate world. This is very important. This is what you need to document everything. Document everything. Documentation is the best.
This boy.
Full disclaimer, I am not how to get harder.
So my first job out of college was at Goldman Sachs. They taught us that you can literally email anybody. This is something that I have used throughout my entire career, but there is a very crucial part two to this. You're probably going to think I'm a little bit crazy. I use this again and again, especially at Uber when I was helping build the Uber Eats business. It does work most of the time. You need to email the CEO. This is important because usually, in my experience, CEOs do read their emails.
This Harvard professor submitted the worst recommendation letter I've ever seen. In it, they said, "Dear admissions committee members, John Smith is applying to the Harvard University Computer PhD program and asked me to write a recommendation letter. I will do so, although it will be brief. I've had limited interaction with John. I've known him for about a year and a half. He took my algorithms and advanced data structures classes, both of which he passed with D grades. Other than that, I've not spoken much with him, though I've occasionally seen him around campus and in the research building. He was generally quiet in class and did not stand out compared to other students. I cannot say much about how he will do in a PhD program. From what little I observed, he appears to be hardworking and has reasonable intelligence, though I did not notice anything exceptional. I have also heard from others that he spends a fair amount of time in his advisor's lab, though I cannot say what he has accomplished there. My impression is that he listens well in class, but rarely contributed original ideas or questions, and he sometimes seemed unsure how to engage with more challenging material. I cannot comment on his ability to do independent, high-level research. What do you guys think of this rec letter? This Harvard professor submitted the worst recommendation letter I've ever seen.
I want to talk to you about a symbol. All over the world, we should have left that.
So this is pretty much all the fluid from one night's dialysis. All the solution was in my stomach and out my stomach within about 10 hours. So this right here is probably around like, if I would have guessed, probably 30 pounds.
I am so done with LinkedIn, and you want to know why?
I am so excited to announce that I just got a position at XYZ company as an
Oh, let me just go use restroom. I'm coming back. Guys, you guys are still there or not? Today we are doing it. Guys, you guys are still there or not? Today we are doing Oh. Oh man. Yo, I may just shut it down. Talk to you guys tomorrow, okay?